Yeah, good evening, everyone. Very happy to see you here. A very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Dr. Megan Chong, and I'm honored to be your moderator today for this special webinar to commemorate a significant milestone of ours, 10 years of the BS Nutrition program at the IMU University. Some housekeeping reminder, we have muted the microphones for all attendees. For question and feedback, please type it in the Q&A panel, and also that this live webinar will be recorded. So since 2013, our nutrition program has not only produced knowledgeable graduates, but also empowered individuals who are now serving as health professionals, nutrition advocates, researchers, and entrepreneurs across Malaysia and beyond. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speakers for today, our proud nutrition alumni who has each charted unique and inspiring journeys since graduating from IMU. Their diverse experience reflect the breadth and impact of the nutrition profession today. We have three distinguished speakers today. Ms. Ranita Krishnamurthy from the class of 2015. We have Ms. Jess Tan, class of 2015, and Mr. Brandon Chan from the class of 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our panel of speakers today. So without further ado, we would like to share with you a short video showcasing the professional achievements of our nutrition graduates across the past decade. Thank you. Now we turn to our distinguished alumni panel to share their stories and experiences with us today. Our first speaker, Ms. Ranita Krishnamurthy. Ranita is a registered nutritionist with a bachelor degree in nutrition from IMU University and a master's in public health from the University of Malaya. With over 6 years of experience in public health nutrition, she is very passionate about designing and implementing community-based interventions that deliver measurable health and social outcomes. At the regional level, currently, Ranita leads Healthify Southeast Asia, managing operations across Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore. She drives digital transformation by testing and launching regionally innovative health solutions. Very interesting, including nutrition analysis, personalized dietary guidance, masterclasses, and behavioral change tools that enhances users' access to essential services and strengthen overall health system resilience. Very interesting. Ranita, the floor is yours. We really, truly hope to hear more from you.
Thanks, Dr. Megan. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can, Ranita.
Okay, great. Let me just share it. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I hope all of y'all have had your early dinner, or if not, have your meal in front of you while you're hearing this talk today, because it's all about nutrition, and food is going to get you hungry with all the pictures we're going to show. So sit back, relax, and have something to drink or eat during this session. I'm Ranita Krishnamurthy, and I'm truly honored to be back here speaking after many years of leaving IMU, but always in my heart. And as you can see here, I still remember being one of the persons on one of the nutrition curriculum brochures for IMU students, and I'm really excited to be here today. I know exactly where you all are at now. You all have so many questions, curious about nutrition, and wondering what kind of career path and feel IMU could offer for you. But I hope today we can answer all your questions. And I want to share with you all today about my journey to see and to help you see the real potential of a career in nutrition. All right, so of course, I did my bachelor's degree in IMU, and it was a 3-year degree, which followed by, of course, it included a clinical internship with the public health clinic, Kelana Jaya. And we also had exposure with various other clinics in Klang Valley. And after that, I also had a 4-month internship with Institute Sukarnagara, which is the National Sports Institute in Malaysia, which was very enlightening. And I'll share a little bit more with the pictures after this slide. And of course, I graduated after that in IMU and worked in the field of nutrition, and then decided to pursue my MPH, Masters in Public Health, with University Malaya, and graduated from there too. And till then, right now, I'm practicing a lot of public health nutrition work. All right, so these are just some pictures of my internship experience with IMU as well as with Institute Sukarnagara. So if you can see on the left, with the clinical internship experience, I had the exposure of working with school children, doing health promotion programs, curating educational materials for various types of population, doing home visits with the nurses as well as the nutritionists at the clinics, and doing cooking demonstration, especially for the underprivileged communities in the slums and rural areas that really need that public health intervention. So most of them were targeted when they come into the clinic and we notice that their children are underweight or severely malnourished or stunted. Then we go into the community, basically Turun Padang, and give them nutrition education and everything that they really need. So it was very interesting and very enlightening to go through this experience with IMU, and I'm really grateful for that experience with the government. And another experience that I also really keep close to my heart is my experience at the National Sports Institute. with a lot of different types of athletes. So I managed to do a lot of nutrition education for Paralympic athletes, badminton athletes, gymnast athletes, and even archery athletes, which was very interesting because the Paralympic and the archery athletes basically live in the same area. So beyond nutrition education, I had exposure during hydration tests with their urine samples and also understanding the environment conditions so to ensure that there's no heat stroke and that they are able to perform their practice sessions in our Malaysian weather. And beyond that, I also had the exposure to do a lot of cooking and snacks for a lot of public health events in Putrajaya as well as in ISN, and also make a lot of protein shakes, healthy food for the athletes there, and also had a chance to get in touch with a few gold medalists that represented Malaysia in a few sports events. All right. So a little bit about my career journey after graduating from IMU was I worked in the healthcare communications line. So I worked with UltraWorks as a healthcare communications executive. So as you can see here, from healthcare communications to retail and then so on, my career wasn't really linear, but that's a good thing because I had the exposure with various fields with my degree in nutrition. So I started off as a healthcare communications executive where I do mostly planning and executing healthcare promotion programs. And most of them were like nationwide healthcare promotion programs. And I also was involved in educational material development, research work, stakeholder engagement, which was quite daunting at first, but over time, it definitely sharpened my communication skills. Um, Next, I had the exposure to work with Sunway Group as a retail nutritionist, which was very enlightening because it was a platform for me to actually put all that I learned during my course at IMU and basically consult the community that comes into the pharmacy for all types of various kind of health related issues. So it was very good in a sense that I had the opportunity to do a lot of in-house trainings, cooking demonstrations, and learn so much about the supplements and F&B products. And then next on, I did my master's in public health, and then I furthered my career in Healthify Me, which is a digital health platform. So the project I did, I started off as a service excellence and PMO lead, where I did most of the work similar to my first job. And I also did a lot of service quality work to ensure that our nutritionists, teleconsultations, were at top-notch quality to ensure our customer experience is always good. And then I am currently working as the overall manager for Healthify SEA. So let me give you a quick glimpse in what I do now. So as a nutritionist and a manager right now, I multitask a lot. As you can see, so many different type of icons. You may be wondering what it is, but just to keep it short and simple for you, I'm basically the bridge between the HQ and Southeast Asia office. So whether we are launching a new product or whether we are testing a product here, doing a pilot study, or whether we are announcing targets, meeting our performance targets, or localizing innovations here, working with the tech team. So that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. But I also do still work as a nutritionist, certain hours in a day where I still do my teleconsultation calls and build partnerships and NGO work to provide education talks with certain organizations. So it is maybe a slightly different feel in the digital health setting, but I still am able to practice my expertise as a nutritionist, which is very interesting because it's definitely the future of nutrition. All right, so I'll move on to the next. So, what drives success in the field of nutrition isn't just knowledge. It's really the whole curriculum that you learn from the university, how detailed it is, and how it shapes you to be a person when you go into your internship experience. And that is very crucial because without a clear and good foundation, you are unable to actually come out with the best competencies. So having a core foundation is very important, but also attitude is very important. So having a positive mindset, strong work ethics, and a genuine passion for nutrition and helping others. Okay, even if you don't do well in exams, it's fine as long as you have a genuine passion of helping others. That passion itself will help you get through your exams. And of course, being a team player, respectful, open communication makes a huge difference in the digital health environment, because being in the digital health environment, sometimes it can take away that human touch. So that extra genuineness needs to be there. So if you're someone who likes to help others, this is a great field. Some of my proudest moments are some of these where I had the opportunity to lead a lot of teams and also celebrate small and big wins. And also, I was promoted to SAA manager from my experience of achieving targets in the service team regionally. And also managed to launch a few products from pro products to smart plans, where you take a picture of the food and you can basically see the calories and the macro of the food. And of course, the BX Obese program, where you reverse obesity in population. And right now, I'm also very proud to be representing Malaysia as a nutrition delegate for Asia and the Pacific for the World Food Forum. And without my experience in nutrition and, of course, my foundation in nutrition, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today. And toward the end of my presentation, I just want to touch a little bit about the nutrition job market right now and maybe in the future. So if anyone is considering this part, definitely nutrition is more than just science. It is science. It is more than that, because everybody is like going into entrepreneurship, social media, and it's really an ever-changing world. It's not like the black and white TV anymore. So there's a lot of trends, social media um, that is going to bring up a lot of opportunities in the nutrition market. And another area that has a lot of opportunities is actually the training industry, where you get to do a lot of trainings for corporate wellness programs, where they really look for nutritionists and a lot of healthcare providers, because employee health wellness is the main key for mental health in an organization, especially with the real-time data and AI-driven world. So nutritionists play a very important role. And above all, I would say stay passionate. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask at the end. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope to see you one day out there as a nutritionist.
Wow, thank you, Ranita. Very insightful sharing about your career journey. Very wonderful to hear from you.
Thank you.
Right. So let's welcome our second speaker for today, Miss Jess Tan. Jess, upon completion of her degree program, she transitioned from quality control trainee at Yansang to a customer care executive at BioLife Marketing. After an exciting and rewarding journey with BioLife, she pursued Master of Clinical Nutrition with UKM. She then joined Danone Specialized Nutrition as a Senior Healthcare Nutrition Executive. Jess is a firm believer that to be a successful nutritionist, you need to have strong foundation of nutrition technical knowledge and also soft skills. Jess, over to you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Megan. Let me share my screen now. Okay. Let me know if my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, it is now, Jess.
All right, so thank you, Dr. Megan, for the warm welcome and introductions. So I'm Jess, graduated from the class of NT115, and until today, I still can't believe that it's already been 10 years since I first enrolled to IMU Nutrition course. So today, I'm just going to share some of the experiences that lead me to where I am today. But just bear in mind, it's not something like, you know, you have to refer to, or at the time of at the beginning of time, you need to be a person like anyone's that we are sharing. So this is just a journey that we've been through, and we are happy to share. All right, my career journey is over here, you see. So first one, of course, is the PKD battalion. This is part of the course in IMU that we need to join the community nutritions. So PKD battalion is actually referring to the Klinik Kesehatan in Malaysia, and PKD battalion is just the Klinik Kesehatan at in the Petaling area. So during our 3 months intense internships with KKM, we actually involve a lot in health promotions like what Ranita shared just now. So our main role as a nutritionist in the community is to bring up the awareness, increase the society knowledge on non-communicable disease. So you can see from the photos here that I was giving sharings on food pyramids to the primary school children, and this is very interesting. And then of course we also provide a lot of real nutritional consultations to individual who is at risk of non-communicable disease, especially like anemia, pre-diabetes, or even pre-hypertension. So those are the individuals that we can share on how to reverse the pre-diabetes or the non-communicable disease timely. So other than that, you look at the posters over here, it's all actually developed by KKM, but we as an interns, the PSP, the Pegawai Science Permakanan that we tag along to report it to, we are also responsible to develop the educational materials to the targeted groups. What I remember was we developed some breastfeeding leaflets or the iron-rich food leaflet brochures, everything. So we learn about that. And what really looks significant and I still remember is the monitoring, the school canteen monitoring activities. So this activity is not to penalize the school canteen, but we as the intern and also our preceptor, the nutritionist at the KKM, we really go onto the ground, went to the school one by one to review the food menus that the school canteen is offering. Then from there, we give feedback and assist to have the improvement on the food menu. So this is very fruitful journey that I have in the community setting. Then right after my picketing battalion, I actually joined Yansang as a quality control intern. So yeah, quality controls right in the food industry is to have a very diligent routine check in the productions to ensure that the whole production is under control, be it like sugar level, water level, or the quantity of the ingredients in a certain products. Other than that, in the food industry, food manufacturing industry, the documentation for HACCP, ISO, and etc. is utmost important as well. So I was the one be part of the team to gather all the informations and submit for approvals. Other than that, because it's just quality control, right? As a nutrition student myself that time, I also took the initiative to be part of the nutrition and education material development, meaning to say that a product is being developed, but I also took the initiative to start on with the editorial write-ups. From that time being is about leaflet, brochures, and website writing. And then from the photo, from this photo, you can see that this is the one of the health promotion events that I organized to share, to bring the awareness of heart health, because I actually did one mini screenings among the workers in the food manufacturing industry, and I found that they are at very high risk of getting hypertension. So that's why this was the mini health promotions event that organized by me, which including like exercise, Zumba, and then menu plannings, and then of course some of the nutritional knowledge. So this brings a very special experience to me. And right after my Yansang internship, I joined Mega BioLife as a customer care executive. So from these departments, right, I always heard about that is this department serves as a sign hub to the company, meaning to say anyone who needs the nutritional knowledge, for be it like in their work or in any materials developments or in their communications, they will look for customer care department. So in this department, right, the first thing first, of course, we do a lot of nutritional and product consultation to the end consumer. So the end consumer, which is the public, that you need a lot of layman term, not the scientific one, to share on and to make sure they really understand what you are trying to convey. Other than that, we also did some health screening to make sure that they are purchasing the products based on their needs. Then followed by we also did a lot of scientific reviews, dissecting the journal articles to translate all the sciences into a simpler scientific knowledge. So it's gonna be used in the scientific editorial write-ups and communications materials. So after Mega BioLife, this is a time that I decided to further pursue master degree. So in my master degrees, right, part of my course required me to do a 3 months industry internship, and I took the initiative to apply at Nestle, and I gotten the opportunity to intern for 1 full year. Yeah, it's 1 full year. So you can see there's a 2 pillars over here because it's 1 year. So I interned at sales departments for 6 months, and another 6 months I did at medical marketing. So this is the time that I really gotten the exposure to the FMCG companies. So when I was in sales departments, it's no longer like you need a lot of nutritional knowledge, but you need a lot of soft skill, data analysis skill, because in day-to-day you need data, you need drill the data and come up with numbers in order that you can do the sales pitch to all the stakeholders to come together to organize the corporate campaigns. Then as for the medical marketing, medical marketing from the name itself is to develop the materials to target the medical settings, which is like hospital, healthcare professionals, like that. So here's the departments that I got to apply most of my nutritional knowledge, because I need to be part of vetting through the materials, and also I need to liaison with a lot of vendors to come up with simple and easy to understand materials, and of course to host a lot of stakeholders discussions. Okay, then right after Nestle, it really brightened my horizon, and I really passionate in FMCG company. So then I joined Danone. So Danone, now I work as a senior healthcare nutrition executive. So in this role, right, I always mention to others, I'm the frontliners to the company. Why? Because I play a role as to meet the healthcare professionals in day-to-day basis, is to establish a strong science-based relationship and position the product as the preferred solutions for the HCPs. So meaning to say is that you need to understand your products, and then you have to share it with healthcare professionals that you are meeting, and they will understand, because not everyone is from nutrition, and you are the nutrition subject matter expertise. So from here, you can able to influence, to share the solution and make it as a preferred solution for them. Other than that, I also have to identify the business opportunity within the assigned area and to develop business potentials. So what I'm trying to say here is, yes, frontliners, I'm meeting healthcare professionals day to day, but it's not a repeating task, because you need to be very observant, and you need to see where is the nutrition gaps, and from there you see whether any business opportunities or not. So this is something brings is new from every days of my work. And last but not least, yes, you are the frontliners and you're in the corporates. You also have to ensure the accomplishments of qualitative and quantitative key performance indicators which keep you going in the company. So after sharing so much on my career journeys, right? I found that they all have this similarity, meaning to say I saw there's a few skills that I think is very crucial and important when it comes to shaping yourself or equip yourself to become company ready. Okay, hard skill, yes. We've been talking about nutritional knowledge, but what I'm trying to say that strong foundation of nutritional knowledge is not saying that you must score well, you must score 4.0 in your studies. That sounds very stressful for you all as well. So it's actually you can become the subject matter expertise, meaning to say some of the individuals, some of our colleagues, they might experience they are experts in research, or some of the colleagues they are experts in presentation. So therefore, this subject matter expertise is very important to groom yourself from that. And then, of course, tech savvy. After COVID hits, everything changed the way of workings, right? So tech savvy and be capable to analyze data and integrate the data. And moving on, soft skill that you can see the similarity that I keep on repeating in my career journey. Communications, be it you communicate via writings to the peoples or to the stakeholders. This is very important. And other than that, you have to have this critical thinking because the information is all over the place, right? So you have to be very mindful on what kind of information that you are selecting to convey to the public. Then it's adaptability because of this fast-moving, fast-changing world. And then you need to be very collaborative and at the same time with your leadership, because if you are subject matter, subject matter expertise, then you can lead with your expertise. And last is creativity. So after talking so much of career journeys and then skills, right? Then people like you all might wondering, then what can I become then? So with the enforcement of law of Malaysia, this Allied Health Professionals Act, I believe that nutrition graduates is now able to find a niche in the markets. So this career path, yes, is a very general one that we have been sharing. Like you can further advance your scientific knowledge by joining postgrad studies or industry, corporates world, or even government. Government, they need nutritionists as well. But now, new trends after the COVID hits, the way of doing is really different. I really second Ranita. Now social media is something. So you actually you do not need a very proper team to start on, because we do have friends or colleagues that start on their ideas from social medias, and you can create your own opportunity from here. So I believe that every one of you is there and ready to become entrepreneurships after then. So my thoughts for this, right? Life is always a marathon and not a sprint. So success is like a marathon, requires patience, perseverance, and a commitment to keep going, even though we know the roads is not easy. All right. Thank you all. This all my fault. This all from me.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess, for the wonderful and interesting presentation. I'm so happy to have you back and also so happy to hear on your growth and development. Thank you. Thank you once again. Right. So now is the time to have our third and final speaker of today, Mr. Brandon Chan. Brandon has strong interest in maternal and child health and is looking forward to build a career that bridges both scientific and commercial aspects of nutrition. Over the past 9 years, he has worked across both sales and marketing roles, especially focusing on maternal and pediatric nutrition. This dual experience allowed him to develop a well-rounded understanding of the industry, from product knowledge and market strategy to frontline customer engagement and education. He is currently serving as a sales manager in Delphi Marketing for routine and specialized formula for infant and children, leading a team that generates initiatives and to ensure the growth of the business. Looking ahead, he aims to further his skills and brush in all his knowledge in this field. Let's put our hands together and welcome Brandon. Over to you, Brandon.
Hey, thank you so much, Dr. Megan, for the very nice introduction and also the warm welcome. Okay, so before I start, let me just share my slides. Just give me a minute. Okay, so I assume that everyone can see my slides now.
Yes, we can, Brandon. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so thank you once again to the IMU team for actually inviting me to come and speak or even to share on some of my experience as well as some of my perspective in this nutrition job as well. Also, throwing back to the video that was shown earlier, some of the pictures really give me some throwback in terms of my studying time as well. So that is a really nice throwback. And also, just introduction of just a brief introduction of myself as well. So yes, the course actually started in 2013. And I was the second graduate of the nutrition course as well. So I actually graduated, I think, back in 2017. Okay, so now people might ask me why choose nutrition course, because this is, if we were talking about gender wise, this is a course that is more famous among the ladies or even among the female. But why as a guy, I want to join, this nutrition course? Very simple reason is because me, myself, I've actually experienced the change, how nutrition actually can change someone. Can you believe it? Before my age of 18 or 19 years, I used to be obese with high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Without me actually going into nutrition course, I actually start to cut down, to eat healthily and also to start doing some exercise, which leads me now to someone more healthier in the sense of that. So with that also, that is the reason why I decided to actually venture in and also to pursue my study in nutrition with IMU as well. Okay, now talking about my career journey, I hope everyone is still around here. Just keep it up for the last one here, okay? So my career journey, so my working experience actually start as early as during my study time in IMU, whereby it's my internship. So I was pretty happy and also pretty interested to actually join this internship program. I was given two different aspects. So similarly to Ranita and also to Jess, one of it is actually being a nutritionist in a clinic kesihatan setting, whereby the job scope or what is the thing that we do is pretty much similar in terms of counseling or on the prevention, cooking demo, developing some education materials, and also doing some talk. But one thing I just want to highlight here is something that really very memorable for me until today is that the lactation course. I'm not too sure nowadays if there is this course still going on, but back then when I was intern in the KK Banda Botanic, I was given the chance to actually join this lactation course, which is a 20 hours course to actually obtain a lactation cert as well. Over here, it really gives me, a blow in mind, a simple word breastfeeding, we are actually encouraging breastfeeding for the first 6 months. Speaking it out, it seems to be very easy, but the behind the story, there is so many things, the challenges, what is the proper technique, what if you have twins, how are you going to breastfeed at the same time? So these are some of the things that actually gave me new knowledge to learn in terms of the lactation as well. So I highly encourage those who are still studying or, even those who have already started working, feel free to go and look up if there's any lactation course, get yourself registered and learn more. This is a very interesting course. Okay. Now, besides the government sector, which is the clinic kesihatan, I was also given a chance to go for the private setting. So during that time, I decided to actually go into something much different. Rather than going into a government sector or an NGO, I decided to go for a private company, which is called UltraWorks. Basically, UltraWorks is actually a health communication company, whereby they are doing a lot of programs to actually create more awareness, collaborating with different companies as well. So during my time in UltraWorks, I was actually given the task to actually develop a new program, COPD program, which is actually a childhood obesity program. Now, in Malaysia now currently, we actually have program that is actually targeting for undernutrition, the growth, which is something called IMFAT. So IMFAT is actually a program to actually create awareness for those to make awareness in terms of to actually identify children who are underweight. So that program itself actually have diagnostic tools. It has assessment tools, not only for the general public, but also for pediatrician to actually look at as well. So similarly to that program, we were actually given the task to actually create something similar, but it's more targeted for childhood obesity. So throughout this development of this program, it was very interesting is that we look at ways to actually prevent or to to minimize the risk of getting them into childhood obesity, because we know in Malaysia, back then, I think when I was studying, childhood obesity or obesity is actually, Malaysia is actually one of the top in the leaderboard. And I believe that until now, I think we are still one of the top there. It's not something that we take pride of or something to be proud of, but this is something that we need to look at to actually change up, to make a difference in terms of that. So during that time, we actually look in terms of ways to develop those tools in terms of prevention, not only looking at nutrition itself, in terms of screen time, the sleeping hours, will sleeping hours actually affect, a later stage of childhood obesity? So these are some of the parts and pieces that we actually looked at. Besides that, we also did some article write-up and also some scripts write-up. We also did support events, like I think in the earlier video, the first video that was shown, some of those events were actually being showcased there. So one of it is like the TYL. TYL is called Transform Your Life. It's actually a hyper and hypothyroidism program to actually create awareness among ladies, especially among ladies as well. So another thing is the vaccine program, whereby we do encourage, kids to actually get vaccine on time, and also some additional vaccine to take to actually provide them with a better protection. But also, of course, we actually participated in a panel discussion for any guidelines in the process or even for any events in terms of that. Now, my second working experience during my IMU time is actually a community placement. Over here, we were actually given a choice to go out to the community to actually educate them or to be part of a nutritionist in that community. So I actually selected a kindergarten that was somewhere near in Shah Alam region. During that time, so what I did is basically educate children on basic nutrition. And then also I did some physical activities for them, create some fun games for them to play. And also one more thing is that I actually conducted some classes in terms of a simple meal preparation, like sandwich, something that to get them to actually, to have some hands-on. So, kids being kids, they need something that is hands-on, rather than if you talk to them in terms of those theory, they might not be able to actually absorb as well, rather than, those who are doing hands-on. So throughout my working experience, you can see here is that I deal with very different target group. I deal with adults. I deal with also kids. So during my working experience or internship in IMU, I am able to actually learn to communicate not only to adults, but also to tune yourself down to actually talk to children, because the way of communication is definitely different. If those of you who have children at home, you all should know as well. Okay. Now, then after that, in 2017, I actually graduated. And my first job, I actually joined Mead Johnson Nutrition, which is actually an infant and also a growing up children formula company, whereby they specialize in the nutrition of that. So I joined them as a nutritional representative in 2017. Now, some of you might be curious, I graduated in 2017, but I joined in November 2017. Yes, because during my final year, I did have some time to actually scroll through and to go and apply some jobs. So that is the reason why I actually able to join in towards the end of 2017. But I'm not trying to, encourage everyone, after graduate, join, you must find a job. Some people have different ways of thinking. Some people want to go to study. Some people prefer to, I want to take a break. With 3 years back-to-back studying, most of us actually deserve a break as well. So go ahead to take your break and then recharge yourself, then only restart in terms of your career path. Okay, now back to the Mead Johnson part here. So in 2017, I joined them. And then I was pretty lucky and also very honored to be actually awarded in 2019 as the Best Medical Sales Representative, Best Sales Team, as well as the Achievement Award. And in the same year itself, I was actually promoted as a medical sales executive. Now, so what are the roles or what are the things that I do, Sales, when people hear about sales, is selling, he must be doing direct selling, he must be selling stuff. But actually, when you look at the whole portfolio here, which I'm going to share here, it's a bit more different. Now, so you can call it nutritional representative, you can call it sales executive, you can call it a product specialist, These are all the names that are being created in this industry to actually label us as a sales personnel. Okay, my target customer is actually pediatrician, obstetrician and gynecologists, dietitians, nurses, confinement center, as well as I do speak with some of the hospital marketing for some collaboration. Now, besides sales, okay, What are the other things that we do is that we also provide product sharing. I always like to label ourselves as a solution provider. You know, there is definitely this condition that requires certain a regime to actually resolve it. So I consider ourselves as a solution provider by sharing those products. We also do conduct CME and CDEs to create awareness and to also educate the nurses, the dietitians, or even the other healthcare professionals. And the part of it that we cannot remove is actually the sales in terms of that. But sales, we also need to explore what are the opportunities, what are the collaboration things that we can do to actually further boost the sales in terms of that. So that is part of the sales. So now if you were to ask me, out of 100%, how many percent is actually focusing on sales? I would say it's about 20 to 30% that is actually focusing on sales. The other 70 to 80% is more in terms of education, more in terms of product sharing, and also helping doctors to find the right solution to whatever objection or whatever what do you call it, the symptoms that they are looking for to resolve. And then after that, Mead Johnson was actually acquired by Reckitt Benckiser. So in 2022, like that, Mead Johnson is no longer a standalone company. It is actually acquired by Reckitt Benckiser. So over there, I joined there. I continued my career with them, and I was actually given the award as a Leadership Behavior Award, which is really, really honored too. And I was also promoted as a Senior Medical Sales in 2021. Okay, now after 3 to 4 years of sales industry, I decided to actually venture out to something else. Because like what Jess mentioned, you know, sales, we are the frontliners of those. So I'm actually very curious, you know, what are the behind the scene? What are the marketing tools? Because when marketing roll out something, sales are the one that to actually execute, to actually to go and give out, to go and execute and to give out and to share with the doctors and all. So that is the reason why I actually moved to M&B Medical Marketing to actually explore the medical marketing field. So over here, I joined M&B Marketing in 2022 as Assistant Business Development Manager. And what I was being tasked to do is basically to actually develop the area of confinement center. Now, when we talk about develop in confinement center, what am I developing? I'm actually helping brands to actually develop their product in these settings itself. For example, you have Pampers, you have those ointments, you have creams for nappy rash and so on. So I'm actually helping brands to actually do that. By helping them, I need to actually prepare a proposal, to actually pitch my idea, to also, you know, in terms of the negotiation and so on, in terms of that. But besides that, in M&B Medical Marketing itself, they actually have their own in-house brand, which is called Mommy, Daddy, and I. I'm not too sure if anyone has heard of it, but basically this Mommy, Daddy, and I is actually a platform for new parents or even ongoing parents to actually learn some new parenting skills, but also to get some samples, you know, in terms of that from them. So one of the things that I need to actually develop this particular brand is also in the confinement center settings itself. Okay, but then after that, you know, about 1 year, I actually spent 1 year, close to 1 year, I would say, in M&B marketing, and that is when I actually realized that I still prefer the sales field, and that is the reason why in 2023 I actually joined Delphi Marketing as an assistant sales manager, and earlier of this year, I was actually promoted as a sales manager. Now, Delphi Marketing, what do I do in Delphi Marketing? So basically, Delphi Marketing again is they do carry a specific brand that is actually targeted for infant and also children nutrition as well. This nutrition is really in the form of formula. Now, unlike, you know, back then when I was in Mead Johnson or Reckitt Benckiser, I was more of a sales rep. Now, as a sales manager, we are looking at a bigger picture. And one of the topmost priority also is in terms of how we want to see how we can maximize the sales and profitability of the company as well. Now, besides that, you know, I need to work very closely with my teams as well in terms of implementing effective sales strategies and to also lead them towards achievement of sales objective in terms of that. Besides that, also evaluating and also identify new potential customer or even clients that could actually be beneficial to the business, then that is something that I would also go for. And last but not least, also to guide and coach my current team as well in terms of the sales, regardless of sales or even handling with difficult customers. So those are the things that I would have to actually be part of that. Okay, so now, if you look through my almost 7 to 8 years of working experience, like what Dr. Megan shared, my career aspiration, I won't run out of the field of maternal and child health because I'm very passionate in terms of learning this. And slightly different than only focusing on the nutrition part of that, I want to look in terms of how this nutrition is present in different kind of private company or different kind of product that can actually contribute to the maternal and child health. So that is what I'm looking at, and that is what I'm planning to also further to continue on this journey as well. Now, okay, like I think Aranita and also Jess have shared in terms of the trends in nutrition job market as well. They're talking about social media. I think this is this is definitely one of the things. This is one of the trend that is quite hot nowadays, and I think this trend will actually continue to spike up, in the next few upcoming years as well. So what I'm going to share now here is something that I have, what I actually see the gap, based on my 7 to 8 years experience. What are the gaps that nutrition can actually cover? First of all, is in terms of the nutritionist and dietitian in confinement centers. Now, for some of you who might not know what is confinement center is, it's basically a place to allow postpartum or post-delivery mother to actually rejuvenate and also recover. So during that 28 days of recovery stay, it's a stay where we call them, when we label them as a queen. Why queen? Is because they are being served with very nutritious food. Their babies are being taken care by a healthcare professional, by nurses. They have courses to actually educate parents as well to pick up some new parenting skills as well in terms of that. But one thing that I realized that, hey, the meals that they are being actually prepared, there were no nutritionists or dietitians to actually look at in terms of the calories content. Are they taking too much, or is it sufficient for them or not? What are the things that it can be implement to actually make it a more nutritious but healthy version of those meals? So this is something that I think this is something that we can look at as well, because this confinement center settings is not going to stop anytime soon. In fact, it is blooming. The trend nowadays is that mothers are actually saving up to actually go to confinement center rather than spending their money to actually go to deliver in a private hospital. So that is the reason why you can see nowadays government hospital, they are actually improving in terms of their facilities. Also, that you can see more and more deliveries are actually coming from the government sectors as well. Okay, and then when we talk about confinement center, the traditional confinement center mostly are actually Chinese populations. And one of the things that they actually look at is in terms of the traditional Chinese medicine. They always incorporate Chinese medicine or the herbs into their meals as well, because it is believed among the Chinese population that this actually is, it will help them to actually re-nourish back for whatever they have lost during the delivery time. So then one thing is that we need to look at also what is the nutrition value in this Chinese medicine herb. So this is something that I think that there is a room for us to explore, and there's a room for us to actually close the gap between a collaboration between a Chinese medicine and also in terms of the nutrition. Okay, now then, because as you all can see, my working experience for 7 to 8 years, I've been stick to infant and also children children formula, regardless of the routine formula or even those specialized formula. So in the market in Malaysia itself, easily we have about 10 to 11 brands. One brand can simply just carry about 11 or 10 to 11 range. So easily you have about hundreds of formula out there. But who is the one to actually go and advise, the parents who are very curious, which formula should I go for? Or what is the thing that I should actually take if, let's say, my kids is having a colic issue, if they have lactose intolerance, what are the things that? Okay, definitely, I think this is the part of it. But I just need to make a disclaimer here. Breastfeeding should actually still come first, okay, especially for the first 6 months, and it should be continued up to 2 years. So, but this is just another trend or another job opportunity that I do see that there's a gap for us to actually play on as well. Okay, last but not least, I think catering. Nowadays, we can see, adults are more and more working adults nowadays. And when we talk about catering, we have those catering that is actually targeted for a huge group in a large scale. But nowadays, we also have catering that actually is targeted for individualized, individualized personnel. So I just want to bring up one of these examples that lately I've come across, which is the Mira Eats. I'm not sure if anyone have actually tried it before. So basically, Mira Eats is actually a platform whereby they actually prepare meals for those who actually have no time to actually prepare healthy meals. So they actually have like those subscription plan as well. So you all can go and have a look in terms of that. But what I want to highlight here is in terms of the items that they're actually bringing out is actually they are trying to throw out, a healthy meal for you all to a healthy and able to keep your full kind of meal that is actually available for each and every one of us. So this is something that I think we can also look at, not only in terms of healthy meal, but also vegetarian. And also one more thing that I'm looking at, still searching out for if there is any catering that is actually doing kids meal. This is something that, it's something that I think so far I've never seen it in any of the platforms. So maybe this is something that we can look at as well, especially working mothers nowadays. They want to make sure that the kids actually are being kept nourished, having the best nutrition in there, but they have no time to actually prepare those meals. So if there is something or someone to actually help them with that, then that this could be an opportunity as well. Okay. Now, when we talk about the competency, I think most of it is actually being covered by Ranita and Jess as well. But what I want to share here is in terms of the competency in sales and marketing field, definitely communication is the first thing that we look into. Communication, where we look at it in terms of two ways communication and also effective communication. When I mean by effective communication, meaning that whatever that you say, it must be really absorbed by that to whoever you are speaking to, and they must be able to understand as well. So I'm looking at more in terms of effective communication skill over there. And when we talk about flexibility and adaptability, this is something that as a sales and marketing person, we need to have this kind of skill, because at any point of time, you might have had some ad hoc project for you to actually take on. So there and then you have to actually, see how to actually change yourself to actually, continue with the ad hoc, but at the same time to also continue with what you're doing now. And one more thing that I was also sharing with the Dr. Megan and so the others the other day is in terms of the adaptability, because it's very interesting, that when we are talking to people, everyone have different personality, but there is this persona table, or what we call it as a selling skill model. There is actually a persona model, which we actually categorize into 4 different persona. So maybe you all can go online and search and also can take up that test and see which persona you're in. So basically, we have people who are very directive, people who are very friendly, people who are very caring. So there is actually, they are being color coded as well. So with 4 different personality of people, that is where you need to actually learn how to adapt to their frequency and to speak to them, so that your message are being carried out and being transmit to them as well at the same time. Okay. And other than that, also like relationship building, regardless if you're in sales and marketing, I think this is a very important skill that needs to be built in any of your job that you're doing. Relationship with your colleagues, relationship with your customer. These are the things that we take a lot of effort in that as well. So other than that, also initiative, rather than waiting people to spoon feed you, I always tell people, why not you take the initiative to volunteer yourself to actually do something different. So this is something that can actually help you to also grow in your career rather than always, getting spoon-fed and so on. Okay, but of course, knowledge-wise, not only in terms of whatever that you are working with now, but also the basic knowledge. I always say that, whatever that you have learned back in your university or even in your college, those are the fundamental knowledge that you should not forget. Because at any point of the stage when you join to any career, you join any job, that is the thing that will actually bring you through as well. Okay. The other two is, one more thing is creativity. Definitely this is something more towards marketing. You need to think out of the box, how to attract people, how to actually catch people's attention, what is the attention span for each and every one of us. I think this is something to look at. And last but not least, also the persistency in whatever that you're doing. Don't give up, try, even though challenges, even though when you face challenge, go ahead, try to actually, break those challenges, and eventually you will actually go through it and you will learn something throughout the whole challenge, process of that. Okay, so now with that, that's all from my side. I hope that I have actually shared enough, have given some perspective into that. So thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for the very inspiring session. There's so many things to learn from you, as you're in this current position. So I would like to thank all speakers again. We have now come to the Q&A session. So let's open the floor to questions from our audience. Yeah, feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box. We have had a few queued up. We will try to address as many as we can. So for start, I would like to ask our speaker, maybe our first speaker, Anita. So what inspired you to pursue a degree in nutrition?
Thank you, Dr. Megan. What inspired me to pursue a degree in nutrition is definitely food. I love food and I love to cook, and I think food and nutrition is definitely a way to connect with any individual that you encounter. So that's one of the reasons why I pursued nutrition.
I see. Thank you. So we also have this question that we received. Jess, from your sharing, you mentioned the attainment of knowledge and skills are so very important throughout your journey. So is there any particular modules or skills from your nutrition degree that is or are a lot useful in your current career?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Megan, for the questions. I think talking about courses or skills is really on the process, how you acquire the knowledge, because it's really in from degree is actually a platform for you to acquire the skills. So how when you receive the skills and how do you apply at work is something also. So I see that in degree in universities is really acquiring those knowledge via different modes of learnings. You see, I think last time we were all complaining about there's so many presentations, so many assignments, everything's like that. But after 10 years times now, I look back and I realized that it's from the assignments I learned of all the soft skills, like presentation skill, like we can talk in front of people, and critical thinking and real life experiences. So I think the crucial things that most important one is to enjoy your degree life, and you will learn
And learn along the way.
yeah, you will learn
Okay.
along the way.
Right. Jess, we received a question here that maybe perhaps I also pose it to you. Would a
Sure.
nutritionist need to be someone who is an extrovert? Very interesting.
Very interesting, Dr. Megan. I'm not sure whether you remember. I think I really resonate well on this question because this is the exactly same questions that I posted to Dr. Megan when I inquiring the course modules, remember? So, but at that point of time, I think I asked myself something if I really like nutrition. And yes, I am. So hence what drives me until today's right is about my passion. So when you are really passionate on something you are going to do or you are doing right, if you it will eventually bring you further. So believe it or not, I actually introvert myself last time. So now I think from the journeys, everything, it's not necessary that you need to become an extrovert to excel in your life, excel in the nutrition.
I see. I think the training, and like you say, the exposure helps for you to be more comfortable and to gain more confidence, to be out there and also to have this one-to-one or one-to-many in a larger audience, to ability to disseminate nutrition education and nutrition knowledge. Thank you, Jess. We have this also very interesting question that perhaps I invite Brandon, if you could help us with it. What was the main obstacles when transitioning from being a nutrition student into a professional? How did you overcome it? I think you're the best person to take this question.
What is okay? So to really put the nutrition knowledge to practical, it is something that I feel that is very challenging. And also I think that one of the things that each and every one of us should have is which is a clear direction on what we want to do. So that is the reason why during my during my internship, during my working experience in IMU, I have tried different and various settings to try out everything to see what are my interests, what is the thing that I want to go for. so that eventually when you actually have that transition from a nutrition student or nutrition graduate to a professional person who works in the real field, then you will have less struggle in terms of that. This is my personal opinion in terms of that. But if let's say you have no clear direction in terms of that, no worries, the first 1 year, I would say maybe the first 6 months or 1 year is actually what we call as a honeymoon period, for you to actually go and try out, to really go and explore. And like I share, don't just give up just because that, you face challenges. Every job that you go, every job that you actually apply, there is definitely challenges, there is definitely obstacle. So I would say the transition itself is not easy, but I think the way that how you actually face and embrace the transition itself can actually make a lot of difference, because through that transition, you will be able to learn new stuff, from those challenges that I share. So those are the things that I highly encourage everyone to embrace the challenges, embrace the transition, in terms of that. Yeah, so those are my perspective and also my sharing.
Yeah, be adaptive. Yeah, yeah, right. Good, very good sharing there, Brandon. Brandon, I think it's also something that you could help us with, how to remain being professional and ethical, at the same time being involved in sales and marketing in your line of work.
So this question is actually got me thinking for, I mean, like, when I see this question in the line, in the chat as well, this is something that got me thinking as well, to be a person to actually work for the company, but also the work ethic. How do I want to balance out in terms of
Balance
this?
it.
Yes, definitely in terms of the work ethic wise, you must always be truthful to yourself. For whatever that you carry, you need to be convinced by it. That is the first thing. And also in terms of ethics, why? Because I'm working in the nutrition, infant and children nutrition, so there is some code of ethic that we cannot touch, that is actually being set by KKM. So that is the reason every time when I meet a customer, or every time when I actually share with the doctors, my first line is definitely telling them, doctor, definitely if mothers are able to actually breastfeed, that is definitely the first choice. Without anything, that is definitely the first choice. Only for those parents who have trouble in terms of breastfeeding or have any challenge at all, then that is where, this kind of specialized nutrition or, this formula might actually come into place. So yeah, this is an option for them, rather than letting your child to go starve and stuff like that. So these are the things that I feel that is very important. So how to actually keep a balance between professionalism and also the work ethic part, I think is basically how you yourself perceive that particular role itself. Yeah. So if something that is against the code or your work or your work ethic, that is something that you should actually look at it and see whether if this job is still suitable for you, rather than being so unhappy that it is actually crossing your line of your work ethics. My advice is to go and find something that really aligns with your work ethics, at the same time can actually help to grow in terms of the company as well.
Evidence-based practice and evidence-based recommendations. Thank you, Brandon, for that. We also get this question, besides the careers mentioned here, what are the career options for nutrition graduates? Anyone would like to take this question? Ranita, could you help us with this?
Yes, sure, Dr. Megan. Yeah, definitely there's so many other work that a nutritionist can do. One of it I didn't touch earlier was NGO work. So I previously actually did part-time work, but you can also go in full-time as a nutrition officer, where you actually do nutrition education sessions for rural women, rural food vendors, to actually empower them to make more informed decisions, because they are basically the main source of providers of food, especially to the communities that do not have that education on nutrition. Yeah, so NGO work is definitely an area for nutritionists to go into. And with that experience of training and also putting yourself out there, with that experience, you actually can be a HRDC trainer and go into corporate and employee wellness programs, which is
corporate wellness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we from this experience shared by our panelists today, we see the diversity, and the diverse role of a nutritionist in many sectors, in public health, in business, in healthcare, wellness, healthcare, also in sports nutrition, if you're interested, in media, journalism, and an NGO like what Ranita has just added on. So it is actually a field that because like what Ranita started, everybody eats and everybody loves food. So it actually touch upon everyone, every individuals within the country and within the community. All right. So yes. Any more questions that we have here? Okay, maybe we'll take this one. What do you see the role of nutrition professionals evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? So someone who is interested, a prospective student who is interested in this area, what are the, skills and competency that is that we need, for future preparations? Jess, would you or anyone? Oh, yeah, sure, Ranita, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Dr. Megan. I actually don't mind answering this question. Yeah, I definitely see nutritionists playing a very important role. And even during my master's in public health, working with a lot of professionals from various healthcare fields, curating health promotion programs, nutritionists play a very important role for the future of Malaysia, because 1 in 2 adults in Malaysia are already obese or overweight. And if that number goes even lower, 1 in every adult in Malaysia, it is very alarming, because we are already very high in NCDs, and diet is the main factor in non-communicable diseases. So I really hope the government has nutritionists for every schools, every kindergarten, because school canteen monitoring and working with canteen operators is the start to connect nutritionists to parents, as well as the food that they eat at school. So nutritionists definitely have a lot of role with the government, which I really hope in the future, if our budget for our country is good.
Thank you, Ranita. So I think we also have one question that asks for what is the difference between a dietetics program and a nutrition course? So perhaps I will take this question. In IMU, we actually offered 2 programs under the division. One is the dietetics with nutrition program and the nutrition program. So one is actually the dietetics program is of a 4-year degree, and the nutrition course is of a 3-year degrees. The main difference between the 2 programs is for our dietetic program is training the graduates to be registered as the registered dietitians. So the major role of dietitians will be in providing what we call medical nutrition therapy, in also helping management of disease in individuals that perhaps, like, for example, having diabetes situations or undergoing dialysis, or rehab patients that had stroke that require special diet to help them to eat better or to improve their health outcome. Whilst the nutrition program prepares the graduates more or to be the registered nutritionist under the allied health professionals, where in the course we see that a lot more elements to prepare the graduate in for the industry. So you have heard from many of our panelists today that you see a lot of the nutritionist role in the businesses, in public health sector, that helps towards prevention of diseases, helping the nations with nutritional well-being, and also working in school sectors for nutrition education and health promotion. So I hope that helps shed a little bit more light into the different the 2 roles of the profession of a dietitians and a nutritionist. Right. We actually have maybe a last one. So we have like this. At the moment, I think we have one question from Amanda that do we have any distance learning? At the moment, the 2 programs that we offered are full-time, and we are now having physical classes in the campus. I think maybe we take the one last question. Anyone can answer this, or yeah. What is the biggest challenges and rewards in your job? Any of the panel would like to take this question?
Maybe I can share
Hi,
mine.
Brendan. Thanks.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Yes. So actually, the challenges. So the challenges that I mean, similarly, I think this is the same question that was actually being asked by one of them. Is nutritionist required to be an extrovert? So me myself, back then, when I was still studying, I'm actually a very shy guy, very shy, very introvert, But then what? But then for me to actually join the sales team, or someone who needs their daily work is to actually talk, to actually share, to create awareness in terms of that. So that is actually a challenge that I feel that it is for me during that transition period as well, to actually go and speak to people, to actually open up, to initiate a conversation. That is one of the challenges that personally I have faced. And other than that, also in terms of how do I put the nutrition knowledge into my working experience, looking at how in the sales field, the usage of nutrition knowledge can be lesser. But what I do, until today, what I do is that I usually, when I have the chance to actually speak to my team or speak to any doctors, I make sure that I try to polish up my nutrition knowledge as well. Not only talking about the products, not only talking about the products, but also what is the nutrition that is popular among the mothers nowadays, or what is the new thing on trend, the nutrition trend nowadays as well. So that is where I actually start to also initiate conversation and stuff like that. And the rewards I would definitely say is, as I've shared, I was being actually acknowledged. So I think one of the things that the biggest reward that I would say is actually being acknowledged in terms of all your efforts that you have done. Being acknowledged is something that I feel is really rewarding. And especially when you actually do have a public talk, or have health talk, people actually do come and ask questions. That is where that, whatever that I've shared actually have went through to them. Yeah, they actually absorb it and they understand. So those are some of the rewarding moments that I feel that, it is for me. Yeah.
Meaningful and serving from the heart, yeah?
Yes.
I think I would probably just take the last question that is asking about practicing as a nutritionist, yeah. So under the Allied Health Professional Act, for one to be registered as and also to practice as a nutritionist, you will need to complete a degree in nutrition. Yeah, so you can IMU is actually one of the nutrition program that is listed, yeah, for automatic recognition to be registered as a registered nutritionist. Yeah, so the undergraduate training in recognized nutrition program is important to be able to register and practice as a nutritionist in Malaysia. I think that is all. We have now come to the end of today's live talk session. I just want to close by saying, as we celebrate 10 years of success, we also look toward to the future. Yeah, IMU remains committed to training competent, work-ready, and future-proof nutritionists who are ready to lead. Yeah, in the world where nutrition matters more than ever, like what the panelists have shared just now. So before we close, I'd like to thank again our alumni speakers, our alumni who is present today, and all our guests that join us today. Yeah, let us continue to grow, inspire, and make a difference, one graduate at a time. I'll now bid farewell and see you and bye-bye, everyone.